Have you ever felt completely in control of your decisions? You choose when to act, when to move, and when to speak. But what if your brain had already decided before you even felt it? That's exactly the provocative question that Benjamin Libet, a pioneering American neuroscientist, asked in the early 1980s. His work has become one of the most famous and controversial experiments in the study of free will and consciousness. Libet invited participants to perform a very simple task. They were asked to sit in front of a screen and the clock. At any moment of their choosing, they would flex their wrist. At the same time, they would watch the clock and report the exact time when they first felt the urge to intention to move. Meanwhile, Libet measured their brain activity using EEG, focusing on a specific brain signal called the readiness potential, a signal that indicates the brain preparing for movement. Now here's where things get fascinating. Libet found the readiness potential appeared around 550 milliseconds before the actual movement occurred. But the participants said they only became aware of their intention about 200 milliseconds before the movement. This means the brain had already started preparing the action about 350 milliseconds before the person consciously decided to act. This finding stunned the scientific world. It suggested that our sense of consciously deciding to act may be an illusion. Our conscious mind becomes aware of the decision only after the brain has already started preparing it. Libet's experiment sparked intense debates in neuroscience and philosophy. If the brain initiates actions before we become aware of them, are we truly free agents, or are we just observers, watching our brain make choices on our behalf? Some scholars saw this as evidence against free will, suggesting that all of our decisions are just the result of unconscious brain activity. But Libet offered a more nuanced idea. He proposed that while we might not initiate actions consciously, we might still have the ability to veto them, a concept he called free wants. In other words, the brain may get things started, but consciousness can still intervene and cancel the actions at the last moment. Libet's experiment didn't close the debate, it opened it. It is inspired of countless experiments in neuroscience, sparked philosophical revolution, and even influenced discussions in law, ethics, and artificial intelligence. Today, his work remains a central point of reference in understanding the relationship between the brain and the mind, and it continues to challenge our deepest beliefs about who we are and how we choose. So the next time you decide to raise your hand, ask yourself, was it really you who made the decision, or had your brain already moved ahead?